Hi there guys, my name's John from ActiveJR.com, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through a review of the iHaper light strip. Now this light strip is a cheaper alternative to say Philips Hue or the other competitors, and it is HomeKit compatible. So continue to watch this video to see how well it performs. The iHaper light strip retails for about £25 or $35, which means it's considerably less than its competitors. It is HomeKit compatible, and it also supports up to 16 million colors. It's also IP20 rated, which means you can use it in damp environments, but you can't use it outside or around bathtubs or sinks, and you certainly can't get the controller unit wet because that is not waterproof. Now, before we continue to get into the rest of the video, don't forget to subscribe as it's greatly appreciated. And also, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And also, if you've got a question or a comment, then leave it in the comment sections below and I will get back to you. And if this review helps you out, there's some links in the description below to Amazon, which have got some prices at the moment on this device. For the benefit of those watching this video, I'll also be doing it from a HomeKit user's perspective. So whilst it does work with Alexa and Google Home, I've not tested the device with those particular services. So let's now get into the design and the build quality, and let's get into the main part of the review. Starting with the design and the unboxing. So the unboxing is a very simple affair, but I was really impressed with the actual box materials used. It feels really premium and something you would expect from a product at a higher price. Inside the box, you get the light strip, which has got everything connected together, the controller unit and the USB. You've also got a number of different manuals, but you have to supply your own charger. The light strip itself is 2 meters long and it's got 60 LED clusters. Now, unlike the Philips Hue, you cannot extend these with optional extension kits, but you can cut them to a desired length. It's worth pointing out, once you've cut them, then you can't reattach these. On one end, you get an extension cable, which has got a USB at one end, and in the middle, you've got the controller unit. This is also where you find the reset button and the HomeKit code. Now, it's worth noting that the extension lead is only 48 centimeters in length, which means you have to think about placement and you may have to get a USB extender in order to reach some of them hard to reach places. Now, as I've already mentioned, it doesn't come with a USB charger, but I used a Apple 5-watt charger and this worked okay. I also used it with a power bank and I had no problems. However, it does seem to pull a lot of juice from that power bank, so it all depends on the type and the capacity of power bank in order to get the best out of it. On the back of the strip, you also get double-sided tape. Now, I fitted it in place into my existing desk where I've already got a strip light, but I still had to use some additional tape which I already had in the house because it just simply didn't stick well enough. So from a build quality perspective, it seems to be made of really good materials. Everything seems to be well put together and they've really thought about the design. They could have extended the extension cable a little bit like on the Philips Hue, but this is just one minor point, as you can buy an additional USB extension cable from Amazon, for instance. Moving on to installation and setup. Now, installation of the actual strip in my case was fairly straightforward. I installed it in an existing placement that I use a Philips Hue light, actually just at the back of me in this office. Now, I did have to use additional double-sided tape in order to get a more secure fitting, but that was just down to personal preference. I think most people will find that if they're sticking it on a flat surface, it will work really well. I'm not too sure if you was sticking it against a cabinet whether it would fall down, so I'd recommend installing some additional tape. To get going, you need to download the iHaper app, and that is only available for iOS. You download it from the App Store and then you simply open it. At first, it will ask you for permission to access your HomeKit data. Once you've done that, then everything should be connected in terms of your home data and the app. Setting up the device is as simple as setting up any HomeKit device. You simply click add and then you add the HomeKit code and follow the instructions. Once you've set it all up, you simply assign it to a room, and I assign it to my studio, and you give it a name and you change the icon if you want to do that. All very simple to set up, and I found it really easy and straightforward. Moving on to performance and using the app. Now the app itself is certainly not the best, but it's certainly not the worst that I've used. The developers have laid it out similar to the Home app, which is found in iOS. At the bottom, you've got the Home, which has got all your HomeKit devices exposed within the app. If, like me, you've got a lot of devices, then scrolling through this to find your device or the devices you wanted can be a bit tiring. However, you have got a menu option to scroll to the room and select the device that way, which makes it a lot easier. You've also got a scenes tab, which allows you to set different scenes. It also allows you to set up scenes. Now, I didn't particularly use this because I use the Home app extensively and I didn't mess around with this. The last tab is a user tab. Now, this feels like it's been a bit slapped together. Certainly some of the menu options around accessing what's new or some of the other things just take you to the website, and that seems a bit lazy instead of taking you to, say, a blog or whatever is relevant for that particular tab. Also, the privacy link gives you a 404 page. Now, this to me is something that's very basic, and I think the developers need to tackle this in order to not put customers off when they're accessing this tab. You've also got the option to set up an account. Now, I did set up an account with some dummy data, and being honest, it didn't give me any extra functionality other than collecting my data. So this is something I wouldn't recommend. Now, using the app itself, it didn't seem overly responsive. Certainly when you were turning it on and off or changing colors, it didn't respond as quick as I would have expected, given it's the native app. Within the native app, you've got a little bit more control around the brightness and various different other things. But because it wasn't that stable and it didn't work that well, I quickly turned to the Home app in order to use things. Now, looking at Apple's Home app, which is part of HomeKit, this provides near instant response to my command, which is a bit surprising because the native app didn't work that well. I could turn it on and off. I also could change the different color combinations, and using the color wheel, I was able to get near perfect colors to what I was actually selecting. Now, one of the limitations with the colors is the whites and the warm colors don't seem to be as accurate as what you find in the Philips Hue. In particular, the white colors give a bluey glow. In this example, I've compared it to the Philips Hue using the same white setting. As you can see, there's a massive difference. So if you are looking for one that can cover warm colors and white colors really well, then this is maybe not one for you. You also can use it with Siri voice commands, and again, it worked near perfectly when I was using them. Now, I did find they don't seem to be as bright as the Philips Hue or the Life FX, and the Philips Hue that I use in this studio provide a lot of light. I've been using these for about 30 days, and I was having random disconnections, which meant that I had to totally reset them and add them again to HomeKit. Now, about 10 days ago, I did do a firmware update, and it seems to have resolved those connectivity issues. So my conclusion to the iHaper Smart Light Strip, I think these are a really good, cheaper alternative for HomeKit compatible light strips when you compare them to, say, Philips Hue or Life FX. They offer really good color match within the Home app, and they're really responsive when both using the Home app or using Siri or using the color wheel in order to change the colors. Now, there is some limitations. The whites are not great and they won't give you a natural white color, and they're also not overly bright compared to its competitors. Also, the native app doesn't work that well, but if you're a HomeKit user, you'll certainly be using the Home app, and that works flawlessly. So for the price, these are a real good option. I did plan on putting these in my home studio because of the white issues and some of the color balances for some of the warmer colors. I certainly won't be using them in there, but I will be using them in another location. So I will be keeping these given the price. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. It's been greatly appreciated. If this video has helped you out, you can use a link in the description below to purchase a set of these yourself. And also subscribe to this channel, it's really appreciated. Also give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you've got a question or a comment, then leave it in the comment section below. Thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon.